Reconnect.
Oh,
There it goes.
well, that's always good. So we're live now.
Yeah.
We're live. Conversation Corner. Sweet. Hey guys, welcome to Conversation Corner. This is me and Levi's first video of 2018. We're excited about this year. Yeah, Happy New Year. See, I love it. And yeah, today is actually a conversation that actually started with me and Allie. And I was asking her questions about the home buying process for her, what she wished would have been different, what she wishes would have been more relevant for her or appealed to her more or helped her out more. And then it kind of created this conversation that Levi and I are about to have with you guys. So hopefully this is beneficial to you if you are thinking about buying a home in 2018. And the couple things that we kind of want to hit on and talk about is, one, relationship versus transaction, and two, loyalty. Because I think that's a big word that we are big with each other and with our clients, and we kind of want to break that down. So I guess we can move forward with that.
Yeah.
So where it kind of started is I was having this conversation with Allie, and I said, hey, walk me through that process for you. What irritated you? What was frustrating for you, if anything? What went smooth? All this type of stuff. And one of the things she kind of talked about, which kind of hits home for me, is she's like, I wish that my realtor would have developed a better relationship with us, because I didn't feel like they took the time to kind of get to know us and get to know what our needs were and our wants were. And I was kind of looking for a little bit more help as we were kind of new in this transition and first time buying a house, and I just wish I would have had more guidance. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, of something that I value and that I bring to the table as your agent, whether you're buying a house or selling a house. My goal is always to develop and build that relationship. So when people ask me, Ryan, what is the average of time frame when you start meeting with people when they go to buy a house to when they close on a house? And I typically tell people it's about 3 to 18 months, depending on where they're at financially, with their goals, and with other things. But I want to share a story that we just had this past week, actually. So I had met with some clients before, went out and showed them a couple houses, built that relationship, had some coffee with them, got to know them, got to know the area that they were interested in, and then I just started keeping my eye on properties that were in this area, right? And I would just gradually shoot them to them and say, hey, here's a property that just got listed. What do you guys think? Do you want to go see it? No pressure whatsoever. And then, after about, probably 6 to 8 months from the first meeting to when we started to get back out and start looking at different things, we went out and started looking at houses, and we found a house that they wanted to write on. And so then it was, hey, are you guys working with someone that you like from a lending side of things, and being pre-approved and all that stuff? And they were like, well, we have been, but we don't really like the relationship that was built with that person, and so do you have someone? And I was like, do I have someone? I have Levi Walker, who's my boy, that I love doing business with, and I have a great friendship with him, and I have a great business relationship with him. The word says is iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. I feel like that's the type of relationship that we have whenever we get together. We get together for lunch quite often, and we talk about life, we talk about business, talk about real estate, we talk about rates, all this stuff. And I just wanted to share this story. So I now have this client that I've established, built this relationship with, that I'm loyal to, that's loyal to me. So that's big for me when I move forward in transactions,
Right.
And building relationships with people. If I'm going to be putting in the time and the effort
Right.
to build that relationship, I want the same from my clients. So I want to quickly and build that loyalty with one another and that trust. And then now that I have that with Levi, then I basically trust him to kind of take over from the lending side of things. So as I pass them off to you, walk me through and walk others through that process then of, okay, that's great. We like Ryan. We're using him as a realtor, but how does the lending side take place?
It's important. The thing that I try to do
for most of my clients is I pride myself on figuring out what their goals are and then educating them on all the possibilities based around what their goals are, right? So I want to identify with client number one what they feel that they can afford with the house, what they want their monthly payment goals to be, down payment goals, closing costs, all that stuff. And I try to figure out what their needs are, right, for financing. Once I've established that, I can continue to build the relationship and start to recommend products towards them. I like to take some time and build out a total cost analysis for my clients so that way they can see visually side by side which products are available to them that are going to fit within their goals, and then they can decide for themselves, make a best informed decision on what they think works based around their short-term, long-term, or mid-term goals for the house. And then just really making sure I hold their hand through the process to answer all the questions that they have, make sure that they're understanding of each stage in the process. There's a lot that goes into buying and financing and a lot of stuff that happens in the background that most people don't get to see. And it's important to educate people to where they understand the parts of the process, all the milestones that are involved in the process, and that they have a good feel that you're doing your best to communicate with them so that they feel at ease and that they don't feel stressed, right? Buying a house can be stressful, let's be honest, but because it's one of the biggest financial purchases most people make in their entire lifetime, we want to make sure that they feel good about that purchase. So
and I like to try to make the process fun. I know it can be stressful and it can be frustrating, but it should be fun. I try to compare it to buying a car, right? Allie's going through this process, but when you go to buy a car, we all know that salesman that you go to the car lot and you're like, you want to turn around and walk away, right? Because he's just that annoying car salesman that is in it for the transaction. Like, he wants to get that sale and you can tell right away. Whereas opposed to you find someone that's like, what is your family's needs? What are your wants? What's important to you? Do you want leather? Do you want, and they start going through this process where it's like, this dude or this person actually cares about me and my family, and yes, they're trying to get a transaction out of it, but they care about my needs and my wants as opposed to what the price tag is on the car, right? And that's the same thing I think with us is we don't want to be that annoying car salesman. We want to be that person that finds out what your niches are, what your needs are, and what your wants are, and help you achieve that by whether that's the financial side of it or that's the housing side of it. And then we want to go from there, right? I think one thing that I loved about this transaction that we just did, in the email, so Levi attaches me to that email so I can see his communication with that other person, so we're all in the loop. There's that trust there. But I liked how he said, hey guys, this is the amount that you've been pre-approved for, but then he said, but in order to stay within our goals that we discussed, here's what I suggest we stay in the price range of looking for a house. So again, that told me that this guy isn't in it for the transaction. He listened to the needs and the wants of my clients, and they said, hey, we want to stick within this price range. We know that we can probably be pre-approved for more, which they were, but we stayed within the price range to keep them comfortable, right? That's what we want to do. We don't want you to move into a house and be all excited to move into this house and now you can't eat because you're stretched financially, right? You're house poor. We don't want that. What we want is we want you to go through this process and be excited at the end of the day and be like, man, I feel like I learned something from the financial side, I learned something from the buying side, and now I'm excited to own my house. And now I'm not stressed or overwhelmed with, now that I own this house, I've got all these other things to do and I don't have the money left over to help me get those things, right? We want to make sure that you're comfortable and you're at peace with the decision that you made. This is it, man. This is Conversation Corner, and I kind of like it. Allie, thank you. She came up with a name. I got to give her props, but it's good. We got 2 chairs. We got a corner, so it makes sense. She's wise like that. She just knows her stuff, and that's why I hired her. But anyways, I'm excited for 2018. I'm excited for this year. I think this year is going to be a lot better than it has been in the previous years, which is crazy. I think the market is extremely hot again. I told Allie this morning, I said, I don't remember a January in the last 4 years that I've been this busy.
Yeah.
So it
Purchase
tells me
market's gonna be
that
strong this
people
year.
are starting to get really antsy and anxious about getting out there and buying something out in the market. And I wanted to hit on this real quick.
Okay.
Interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for people that are on that fence, Vanessa and I are in that boat because we're looking at closing on our house in March, and we're kind of sitting, watching interest rates and things like that as far as when do we lock, when do we don't lock, are they going to go up, are they coming down? What are you seeing right now?
Yeah.
From interest, and I know you probably don't want to talk about this,
Well,
but
no,
we got to
yeah,
be real.
so
we got to share this with them.
Rates are trending up, guys. Definitely. You know, if you're in a contract position already and you're more than a week or so into your purchase contract and you haven't locked, you're definitely going to want to lock. I wouldn't recommend continuing to hedge the market in the short term. In the long term, the forecast, you know, the next 1 to 2 months is that the markets will settle back down a little bit. We've seen a crazy rise in interest pricing from the end of 2017 into the first start of January.
No bueno.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Well, you know, a lot of that's good economic numbers and things like that coming out, which have definitely been all the economic indicators and everything that's happened in the stock market. It's driving pricing up. But again, that should settle off and cool. We also have the Fed meeting in March, which they're rumored again to raise interest rates at that time. They're also they are also easing back the purchasing of mortgage-backed securities. The Fed is. They're doing that by another $4 billion at the end of January, and then they're rumored again in March to scale that back another $8 billion. So rates are definitely going to be on the rise this year, guys. I imagine we'll get to 5% conventional towards the end of the year. Who knows? Hopefully not. Those are still good rates, though. But I would say it's better to lock than it is to wait, especially if you're already in a contract situation. If you're just shopping, then obviously you got to wait anyway, and you can hedge it. If you get into a longer purchase contract, 45, 60 days, you can wait a couple weeks, work with your lender, work with their recommendations on what's going to happen with the market, and go from there.
So there you go, guys. It's not just me, in my opinion, of sharing with you that I think interest rates are going up. This man right here even sees that. So if you are someone, if you're 3 to 18 months out from buying a house in 2018 to early 2019, let's grab coffee, let's get together. Shoot, Levi, you can come and be there and be there with us and answer any questions there as well. We're more than happy to do that. Again, we want to be a resource for you. We want to answer your questions that you have, and then we want to talk about the market and what it's doing to benefit you and help get you to meet your goals and your needs, whether that's in 2018, 2019. But either way, I would say if you can do it in 2018, do it in 2018, because like we said, I'm going to make a bold prediction, just like Levi said. I could see it getting there, but I'm telling you, December 2018, I'm almost promising, and you can hold me to this, rates are probably going to be at 5% or higher. So I'm just telling you that, not to try to get you to buy something or whatever, but they're going to go up. They've been at an all-time low now for the last couple of years, and now we're starting to see the shift take place. So, if that's you, contact us, let us know. If you have any questions, we'll go from there. This is Conversation Corner, our first one. It's 101. Conversation 101 today. And we are going to continue to do these because we think they're relevant to you. And Allie's shaking her head like, yes, this would have been extremely helpful. So we will continue to put these things together for you, hopefully answer any questions. Comment below. Let us know if there's certain things that you want us to do a conversation on. If you want us to bring in another professional of some other profession and talk to them, whether that's remodeling or things like that, that might be relevant to you, we'd be more than happy to do that too. Because we're thinking about, I'm going to have to let them in on a little secret. This makes this means we got to move forward on this. But Conversation Corner might turn into a podcast. It might turn into something that we do, and we start bringing people in and doing these things.
We're incubating it
for you. Yes. So
anyway.
I'm going to throw that out there. You hold us accountable. We'll move forward if that's something you guys want. But I'm excited for 2018. I think it's going to be a great year. And again, our market is starting to show that as things pick up. So we've dragged this on way too long.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Have a great one. See you later.